Hello, this is Lil Jordy. Today we're gonna be smoking a cigarette and talking to the camera about God, homelessness, and stuff like that. So let me light up my cigarette. This is a res cigarette. It's a bag cigarette, just a Roy, nothing too fancy. So I blocked out my knuckles. They're a little patchy. I'm gonna turn them into little candles up onto my knuckles. But yeah, I recently just got out of being homeless about a week ago, and I had food stamps, so I had food and shelter and stuff. But I struggled, especially during the winter months. I stayed out of my health facility, and everything, and being homeless isn't as bad as everybody makes it out to be. Like, I can understand sleeping outside during the winter months sucks, which I never had experience. But being homeless isn't as bad as it used to be, because you have there's places that give off free Wi-Fi. There's things in your community that can help you get out of it. And I've struggled finding a job because of the way I look, because you don't know, I got this on the middle of my throat. Give me a second. An elephant in the middle of my throat. And, I'm really experiencing, I don't know if I should call it out, but in the past, 6 months, I've experienced a lot of growth and understanding of other people and what their problems and situations are. Not everybody that is homeless is on drugs. There's many benefactors to being homeless. And things like just losing a job, not being able to keep on rent, things like that. And not everybody knows the know-how to access government help. One thing that people do in New York State, I don't know if it's just for New York State, but there's this thing called emergency housing where they put you into a hotel or motel, and they pay for it until you can get a job, and they pay for it, then you start paying for it yourself, and then you work your way back into it. There's a lot. I think I've learned a lot. And a lot of the stress I went through was really nothing. Not everybody, like I said, not everybody who's homeless is because of the mental health problems. There's people who are mentally ill. I have mental health problems. I'm schizoaffective. I hear cop sirens in my head. I'm crazy. But one thing that helped me through all of it was prayer, and going to church. And people don't realize, but God has a plan for everybody. God has a plan. And things happen for a reason, I think God was showing me that I needed to mature and get a little more responsible and on my own 2 feet. And honestly, I'm getting on my feet. I got a place, I got a little TV, I got a bed and everything, and I was practically handed this apartment to me, which I don't like, because I don't like having things handed to me, but I am paying rent and stuff, but a lot of it is just a mindset, being homeless. If you sit there and think, hey, this is gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse, it is going to get worse. And when you think that, you're not doing anything. You're procrastinating. What I did is I tried to say, this is going to get better. This is going to get better. This is going to get better. It takes time. And what did it do? It got better. And I prayed to God when things were bad and rough that he would save me. And he practically saved me. He didn't I know I don't look like the average Christian, but things could be worse, I used to do psychedelics. I took a tab and I took mushrooms multiple times. And from what my diagnosis is that it really messed with my diagnosis. And that's why, like, if you want to smoke weed, smoke a little weed. If you want to have a beer, have a beer. Like, as long as it's in moderation, I don't see a problem with that. But, like, there's people who are out on the streets buying drugs versus over food, and that addiction is a mental illness. I say we should, like, praise those people. Like, we should pray for those people because those people are sick. They don't understand. Like, every addict wants to get out of their situation. They want to get clean, but they don't know how to. There's even people that go to rehab that try to get clean, and they still don't know how to get clean. Because getting clean is a mentality state. It takes, like, for an alcoholic, if you drink a 30 rack a day, some people have to drink maybe 10, 15 beers, go from 30 rack a day to maybe 20 beers a day. From 20 beers a day to $10 beers a day or something like that. Like, weaning yourself off of this stuff. Because when you do things cold turkey, like, I can't quit smoking, but when I try to quit smoking, I get irritable. Things like that, like every addict wants to get clean. Like, nobody wants to suffer an addiction. You know, there's some really good people I know that are in active addiction, and like they just don't know how to get clean. They want to, but they don't know how. And I think, like, the 14 steps isn't enough. Like, the steps in getting sober isn't enough to get sober. Like, I really don't, because it's really, it's everything. Even if you have depression, anxiety, or even the average Joe who has no mental health problems is completely with it. Your mind is a constant state of, like, battle. And it's like you're constantly fighting and arguing with your brain. And, like, everything you see, perceive in front of you is all mental. Like, we're all in a realm with vibrations, and these vibrations are vibrating off of everybody. Like, one thing I was told about 4 years ago when I worked at a gas station doing midnights, there's a guy who came in, he goes, you tribe on how you vibe. And I really believe that. If you put off negative energy into this world, God's going to feed you back negative energy. But when you put positive energy into the world, God's going to give you positive energy back. And he's going to reward you with things. Not like $1 million and a boat and a lake and a mansion. But he's going to reward you. He's going to reward reward you with the simplest things that you couldn't even understand. He's going to help you achieve your battles and everything. I just like think that everything needs to be, like, mentally, like, thought through and stuff. I still am working on music for all my music friends. I'm still writing and stuff. I don't know when I'm going to release a song next. It's been about 8 months. But I just feel like I should interact with my community more. I haven't really been doing a lot of interacting with my community unless it's Snapchat or Facebook. But like I said though, everything is a mental battle. Everybody faces it in their own different form, in every different form. Like, even, like, people who don't have depression still get depressed. They still get anxious. There's so many things though, like, but, like, there's so many, like, benefactors in, like, your environment and stuff, the way you were raised. Like, I was told the first 6 months as a baby is what bases you around your personality. I know my father was a very happy man when I was being raised and brought up. He brought a lot of happiness and sunshine. So did my mother. My mother spoiled the fuck out of me as a kid, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not trying to say nothing, but she didn't go out and buy me a brand new 4-wheeler or anything, but if she had money for something, she was going out and getting me it. Like, something I wanted. She made it her obligation to get me something that I wanted, like video games or whatever. And she didn't have a lot of money. She gets disability, but she did what she could to provide for me, and I feel blessed in that situation. Same thing with my father. My father worked a part-time job and gained disability while we all lived in Section 8 housing. I'm crazy. Like, I think I'm crazy. Some people say I'm wise for my age. That's why I have an elephant in the middle of my throat for wisdom. I should have put the chunk up for good luck. but I never did. I recently blacked out my fingers. I think I showed you guys already, but look how blotchy they are. I was told to do deeper circles and everything, but like I don't know, like everything is a mindset. Like getting rich, that's pretty difficult, but it's not impossible. You can achieve any dream as you want. God's not going to reward you with millions of dollars because that's greed and being greedy, but that's one of the 7 sins. But like everything, like I don't know, like I've been thinking a lot lately, and like what things can do for me and what I can do for other people. Because the more you give, the more you give, the more they give back, and it's not, and it comes back around. Like, say if I gave this homeless guy 2 cigarettes on the street because he had no cigarettes, I gave him a pack of smokes or something. Well, somewhere along the line, not today, not tomorrow, but whenever God is ready to give it back to me, He will give it back to me. You know what I mean? In some shape or form, as long as you're helping people. And that's what God wants. He wants us to give to what we have to the next man, to help and everything. But I just feel like I needed to make a video. I'm probably going to start making more cigarette videos again and stuff. I don't know about weed because weed's kind of controversial. But I'm thinking about making more cigarette content. And when I get my setup ready, I got my apartment, this whole bedroom, this whole side bedroom, here, I'll just go like this. This whole side bedroom, right here, a desk is going to go right here. I'm going to put a TV up right here. I'm going to put a desk in right here. Wrong slide. So I'm going to get 2 large desks and put one down this length and down this length in here. So I have lots of desk space to work at. That's just staying in here. I got to figure out where a spot I'm going to put it. But, yeah. So there's a lot of big things happening. Look forward to Lil Jordy's music in the future. Yeah, but everybody stay healthy, safe, and happy. Make great decisions. Stay hydrated, and have a wonderful day. Peace and God bless.